What if a creature born from the depths of the internet could inspire real-world horror? This chilling question takes us back to the origins of Slender Man, a terrifying figure born not from ancient folklore, but from the digital realm of an online forum. In 2009, the Something Awful forums hosted a contest challenging users to create the most convincing paranormal image. It was here that a user named Victor Surge introduced the world to Slender Man. The character stood towering and faceless, with elongated limbs dressed in a black suit. His presence alone evoked an aura of dread, and his lore quickly expanded. He was said to have the ability to teleport, influence minds, and even distort reality. His preferred victims, innocent children whom he would stalk, abduct, and influence to perform unspeakable acts. A friendship, a plan, and a horrifying act. How did the Slender Man drive two friends to the brink of no return? In the heart of Wisconsin, two 12-year-old friends, Anissa Wire and Morgan Geyser, found themselves drawn into the enigmatic world of Slender Man, an eerie, faceless entity born out of internet lore. Their fascination with the figure soon turned into an obsession, one that began to blur the lines between reality and the digital realm. The girls believed that Slender Man was real and that he held power over their lives. Their belief was so strong that they felt the need to prove their loyalty to him, to show they were his devoted followers. The plan was as chilling as the figure they worshipped. They decided to kill their friend, Peyton Leutner. On the fateful day of May 31st, 2014, the girls lured Peyton into the woods during a game of hide-and-seek after a slumber party. There, in the seclusion of the forest, they brutally attacked her, stabbing her 19 times. Believing they had completed their sacrifice to Slender Man, they left Peyton for dead and embarked on a journey to find their digital deity's mansion, which they believed was nestled deep in the Wisconsin woods. But Peyton survived. In an extraordinary display of resilience, she crawled to a nearby road, where she was found by a passing cyclist. The authorities were alerted and a manhunt for the two girls began. The police found them hours later wandering the highways, still on their quest to find Slender Man's mansion. A tragic act inspired by a faceless terror. But the story doesn't end here. When a child's game turns deadly, how does the world respond? In this chilling case of the Slender Man stabbing, the investigative process was as unconventional as the crime itself. The victim was discovered by a cyclist, injured but alive, on the side of a road. She had managed to crawl out of the woods where the attack took place. The police were immediately alerted and the investigation began in earnest. The victim was able to give a statement, naming her attackers, her own friends. When the authorities apprehended the two girls, they found evidence that this was not a spontaneous act of violence. The girls had been planning the attack for months, influenced by a disturbing internet myth, the Slender Man. Their notebooks were filled with drawings and writings about this faceless creature, showing a deep obsession with the lore. In the face of a crime born from fiction, how does the justice system react? This question hung heavy in the air as the trial of the Slender Man stabbing case unfolded. The two girls, barely teenagers, were tried as adults. They pleaded guilty, one to attempted first-degree intentional homicide, the other to being a party to attempted second-degree intentional homicide. The court proceedings were lengthy, filled with psychiatric evaluations and debates over the girls' mental states. This was a trial like no other, a chilling testament to the power of online fiction. The judge, taking into account the premeditated nature of the crime and the effect of the girls' mental health, handed down a sentence that reflected the gravity of the situation, decades in mental health institutions. In a world where the digital and the real intertwine, what responsibility do we bear for the monsters we create? The Slender Man case is a chilling reminder of how internet lore can seep into reality with devastating consequences. The internet, a vast and unregulated playground of ideas, can amplify and distort these tales, often blurring the line between fiction and reality. It's a realm where urban legends like the Slender Man can evolve and proliferate at an unprecedented pace, reaching impressionable minds across the globe. This phenomenon is not entirely new. Folklore has always mirrored the fears and anxieties of its time, but the speed and scale of the internet present a unique challenge. Tales that once took generations to spread can now reach millions in a matter of minutes. And so, we must ask ourselves, how can we navigate this digital landscape responsibly? One answer lies in media literacy. A critical understanding of the content we consume and the ability to distinguish between fact and fiction is more important than ever. But media literacy alone is not enough. We also need a collective commitment to fostering a healthier online environment. This includes platforms taking responsibility for the content they host, and individuals being mindful of what they share and consume. We must also remember that behind every sensational story, there are real people affected. The victims of the Slender Man stabbing were not characters in a horror story, but young girls whose lives were forever changed by an internet myth. The Slender Man may be a creation of the internet, but its impact is all too real. As we weave new tales in this digital age, let us remember the power that our stories hold. Stories have always been a powerful tool for shaping our understanding of the world. They can inspire us, teach us, and sometimes scare us. But when these stories leap from the screen into reality, the consequences can be dangerous, as we've seen with the Slender Man case. Yet it's not just about the stories themselves, but how they are interpreted and consumed. The internet has given us an unprecedented ability to share and spread stories, but with this power comes a responsibility. It's up to us as creators and consumers to navigate this digital landscape responsibly. We need to foster a culture of critical thinking, media literacy, and empathy. We need to remember that every story we tell, every myth we share, has the potential to impact the real world. It's not enough to simply consume content. We need to engage with it critically, understand its context, and consider its potential impact. This is especially true for creators, who have a responsibility to consider the potential consequences of their work. The Slender Man case is a stark reminder of the power of stories and the responsibility we all bear in shaping our digital landscape. Let's use this power wisely and create a safer, more understanding online world. Thank you for watching our video on the Slender Man Stabbing, a dark tale unveiled. We hope it was informative and thought-provoking. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Stay safe online and always remember the power that stories hold.